Hey, Mrs. Lohop here, a brand new module, Module 5. We are still working with fractions, but we are going to be doing some different things with fractions. This lesson is called Multiplying with Fractions, but it's really talking about how to describe multiplication or fraction problems in picture format, describing those processes. So let's take a look. I'm not explaining it well. Here we go. Let me move me out of the way. Before we do that, I want to take another look at that idea of renaming fractions. When we worked with subtracting mixed numbers, sometimes we had to look at a number like 4 and 1/4, and we had to go back and give it a different name so that we could subtract the fraction parts. Here I have an image, and let me grab my pens. If we were to draw out 4 and 1/4, it would be this entire box. This is one whole box, two whole boxes, three whole boxes. Here is our fourth whole box. That's the whole number 4. And then the remaining one, we're talking about 1/4. So just this part right here. Another way to name this is to take this whole box before it and add that to the fraction. So this is the same as 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, 4/4. One whole is the same as 4/4. And then we have an additional fourth right here. So that would be 5/4. By doing it this way, we are getting more of the fraction part to use in our subtraction problem. And now we have one whole, two whole, three whole parts, and 5/4. So 4 and 1/4 is the same as 3 and 5/4. Let's rename another mixed number. Here we have 3 and 2/3, and we want to find out what that would be equivalent to if we renamed it. So 1/3 would be this whole. This is one whole. Here's another whole circle. Here is a third whole circle. That's 3 whole, and then we have 2/3 of the remaining. So here's 1/3 and 2/3. All right, so if we were to rename this, we would come in and we would take the first whole section prior to the fraction part, and we would turn this into more fractions. So 1/3, 2/3, 3/3. This whole can be renamed as 3/3, and then we have two more here. So this is 4/3 and 5/3. So in this case, we have one whole, two whole, and 5/3. So 3 and 2/3 is the same as 2 and 5/3. Just a little practice in renaming fractions. All right, now let's look at the point of this lesson, which is to draw visual models to represent fraction problems. So here's the problem. Eloise is sharing 4 lemon squares equally so that she, Sarah, and James can have the same amount. So if I were to draw that out, the important information is I have 4 lemon squares, and we are sharing it with Eloise, which her name is right here. Eloise is one person. Sarah is a second person. James is a third person. So 4 lemon squares divided by 3 people. So I'm going to draw out my 4 lemon squares. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we need to divide this between 3 people. So I'm going to come back here. I'm going to grab a different color. And I'm going to divide each bar in 2/3 because we have 3 people, 4 bars and 3 people. Now, if I were to cut these up, I could then divvy them between the 3. Do the not the eeny, meeny, miny, mo, but one for you, and one for you. And that would look, so I'm going to use E for Eloise. One would go to Eloise, one would go to Sarah, and one would go to James. One would go to Eloise, one would go to Sarah, one would go to James. One would go to Eloise, one would go to Sarah, one would go with James. And the same here. All right. Now, how much did each person get? So let's look at Eloise. Here she has 1/3, right? She has 1/3 of this bar. She has 1/3 of this bar. She has 1/3 here and 1/3 here. So she has 1/3, 2/3, 3/3, 4/3. If I write that as a fraction, it looks like this. And we have an improper fraction. 4/3 is the same as 1 whole bar and 1/3 remaining. If I put all 4 of these together, I would have 1/3, 2/3, 3/3. So that would be 1 whole bar and 1/3 extra. That is the same as 4/3. So each person got 1 1/3 of a bar. That's how you would describe how you would divide it. Let's look at another example. Here we now have 6 friends. 6 friends are sharing 2 pounds of nuts. Let me move myself out of the way so that each friend gets the same amount. To determine how many pounds of nuts each friend gets, they model the situation. Which model shows this? I have an A, a B, a C, or a D. So we have 6 friends, and they are sharing 2 pounds of nuts. So if you were to draw it out, how would you draw it? Well, first you would show 2 pounds of nuts. And A has 1 pound drawn here and 2 pounds here. So it could be A. B also has 2 pounds drawn. I have 2 boxes to show 2 pounds. C shows 1, 2, 3, 6 pounds. Nope, we only have 2 pounds of nuts that's being divided. Here D shows 2 pounds as well. So now we have to pick between A, B, and D. All right, remember we have 6 friends. So 6 letters would be A, B, C, D, E, and F. That's how we could label our 6 friends. So our answer should have the letters A, B, C, D, E, F. Option A shows letters A, B, C, A, B, C, A, B, C, A, B, C. We don't have it shared among 6 people. They're sharing it among 3, so it can't be this option. Letter B has letters A, B, C, D, E, F. They're all there. That could be that one. Let's look at D. D shows ABC, 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 and ABC. It cannot be D. They're not sharing it between 6 people. The correct answer is B. B is showing 2 pounds. Let me color the 2 pounds so you can see the 2 pounds. I'm going to color this pound as yellow. And the second pound is, let's make it this blue. Here's the second pound. Okay, so there's 2 pounds. Each pound is divided into 6 parts because there are 6 friends. So if we look, we can see here's part 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And this pound is also divided into 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then they divided it by the friends. 1 went to A, 1 went to B, 1 went to C, 1 went to D, 1 went to E, 1 went to F, And then they came back and did it again. One went to A, one went to B, one went to C, another went to D, E, and F. And it ended up that each friend got 2 of the 6. Let's take a closer look here. All right. So here you can see again, this is 1 pound of nuts. That is 1 pound. And here is pound number 2. Just like I drew 4 lemon bars, now I'm drawing 2 pounds. Each pound is divided into 6 sections because there were 6 people. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then they gave 1 section to each friend. And they regrouped them so we could see them easier together. So now how much did each friend get? Well, if I come in here and I look at just this section right here, trying to keep it, each friend got 2 of the 6 sections. So each friend got 2/6 of a pound. Now, if I look at that fraction 2/6, I know I can reduce it. I can make it smaller. 2 is even and 6 is even. So I can divide them both by 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 6 divided by 2 is 3. So each friend got 1/3 of a pound. And that's what these larger lines are showing. These larger lines are showing thirds. I think I can come in here with this. If I look at this line and this line, it's dividing it into 3. A got 1/3, B got a third, C got a third, D got a third, E got a third, and F got a third. Each of the friends got 1/3 pound of nuts. All right, this lesson is about practicing making visual representations of the math problems. You need to decide how much you have, draw that, and then portion it out by the number of people you're dividing it by, and then assign the division to see who gets what. Take your time working through this one. It is challenging. Make sure you come back and use this video again if you need to. And remember, I'm here to support you. All right, take care, guys. Bye.